Starting today with a fit check, going out with a couple of guys to record some content. It is a beautiful day, beautiful hot day outside, and we're supposed to go record. So I don't know how good these videos are supposed to turn out. I am at Acon by Damac in close to downtown, and I'm staying here for the next couple of days because I am currently homeless. Beautiful view, beautiful view. Small studio, bigger than where I was staying. Now, why am I homeless? I'm moving to Marina, and I already found someone to take over my studio in Maidan, so they're moving in tomorrow. I didn't want to have to clean again, super last minute, so I locked that door. I'm ready for the handover, and I've been staying here for a day now, and I will be here for another 10 days before I get the key to my new apartment. Now, today is the last day of the quarter, and as I have promised, I'm supposed to do, a summary of how much I've made, how much I've spent, but I don't think that's relevant because that's going to be different for everybody. But I'll give you guys the numbers on how much I have made. I still do have to find a couple of minutes to sit down and do that math, but it's good. I'm happy with it. It's not as good as I expected, but it's pretty good. Decided to add a little bling to the outfit. Remind me, I gotta tell you about this project and talk about Damac in particular, because as much as I love most of their projects, some like this I'm very unhappy with. They've put some fine print in the contracts, in the purchase agreements, that ultimately makes these a bad investment. Hopefully it's not as loud or as bright. There's always construction happening around this tower, at least for the next little while. But as I was saying, so these are hotel apartments. Yes, you do get the amenities and everything. First, the service charge is higher because of that, but that's not really a negative because you're getting something in return. This is actually very interesting. We're walking by some windows as they're being installed in the Al Habtour project, which is right behind me right there. So initially, they said you will get free management, as in Damac will take care of renting out your property, making sure that you are generating some sort of revenue. And that is great. For a lot of investor clients, that is a huge bonus because you're saving that money, right? And that is how they got hooked, unfortunately. The first year, their ROI was great, especially when you do short-term rentals, 10, 12%. And with the management fee waived, you're pocketing the whole thing, right? Then the next day, they start introducing that management fee that is no longer waived. Now they start with 4%, 5%, 6%, and eventually they bump it up to 10, 12%, right? So in some of these towers that are built by Damac and have this kind of wording in the agreement, ultimately you're stuck with a unit that is no longer netting you any money. If you're collecting, let's say, 10% rental income and you're paying 10% for management, then you're at zero. Sometimes they're charging you extra 11%, 12% for management, which means you're paying out of pocket to keep this property, which who would buy that property off of you eventually, right? Sorry, I just said hi to someone. This is one of the buddies that's supposed to be filming with us. I think he's just walking and thinking about what we're gonna say, which is great because that's what I struggle with when it comes to short content. Awesome. I'm gonna go in here before I start sweating and say hi to the rest of the people and see what we can record today. Stay tuned for the rest of this video and my financials. All right, so before I forget to do this again, let's quickly run you through the numbers for the first quarter of 2025, which is my 6 months in, almost 7. I'm not too sure at this point. Doesn't matter. So I closed the studio in Maidan, and I only accepted 1% as my commission, 7,000 dirhams. Then I had lofts downtown, 2-bedroom, again, only accepted 15,000 as my commission. I'll explain the details in regards to how these deals came to be and why I took such little money, but these two actually have already sent me so many referrals that it will be worth the discount. Then I sold a 2-bedroom off plan in Shoba Heartland 2, commission 138 expected. Remember I mentioned I had a dispute with Shoba. Then Bengati off plan 1 bed, 95,000. Hamilton House 1 bedroom in JVC, 47,000. I double ended that. Danube 1 bed, 21,000. Danube is also in JVC area, Arjan. So total is 323,000 dirhams. Now out of this, I'm not getting paid most likely for the Shoba deal because Shoba is still claiming that is a direct deal because they found the daughter of my buyer in the system because she clicked on an Instagram ad. So let's just say take home 185. And then on the Canadian side, I closed 7,500 dirhams, which is pennies. But again, my cost over there has increased significantly because I'm sharing with another agent who's basically doing all my viewings and the paperwork and everything. So 185 plus 7,500 in the first quarter of 2025. And I'm really happy with those numbers, if I'm being honest. That's really good for 4 months. That puts me on track for over $1 million in my first year.